punishes them for their killing of at best. But if you look at what they're strategically doing,
The guests for this party have been chosen with great specificity, so I suggest Mr. Washington.
keep it from being shut down.
How was that?
Right? That was a very important strategic assumption that no longer exists.
I listened to a retired general the other day talk about this exact same thing. And his assessment was exactly what I was thinking. You have to take the entire country over and take the strategic knowledge and pull the code straight over the side and shut all the funding and government down. And shut all the necessary inputs to the country down. You could strategically find bridges and power stations and bring them to their knees without having to go in. You start going in and destroying, yeah, you're going to suffer natural casualties. But why do it if it's not necessary?
Because if you don't do it, they're just going to attack you.
That's exactly right. They'll just attack you from the positions inland.
How are they going to attack you?
Drones, missiles,
Truck bombs! Don't forget about those big, huge motherfucking truck bombs which aren't that hard to deploy.
A lot of stuff, drones and stuff there. We shut a bridge down, which essentially crippled their ability to move that stuff into that port city. You know, there's a lot of strategic ways this can be fought. Are they going to hit us with air power? No. They can't control the skies. Are they going to move troops towards us? If you can't control the skies and you move a convoy out of Tehran towards the coast, and you got F-16s and S-22s bombing them, they're going to be decimated before they ever reach the coast. So their only operation, strategically, militarily, to impede us taking that is through ballistic missiles or drones. That's it. That's the only card they got to play. They can't move troops because they can't protect the troops as they move down towards the coast. They have no air cover for the troops. Did anyone ever look at Iraq when they was trying to get out of Kuwait? They called it the killing field, where they was trying to move out of Kuwait. They had no way to protect that convoy, and our planes just come through and decimate it. It'd be the same thing in Iraq. Yeah, it'd be the same thing with Iran trying to move any troops down
So
to help
international oil
remove
benchmarks,
us
like
from
said,
that
down
area.
to $100 a
They
barrel
move it
for
down,
some
they'd have no air
months
cover, they'd have no
because
way
of
to
the short
protect the
shipping
troops.
checkpoints,
They'd just be
which now expand.
massacred as they come down. Yeah, let them come down.
Now,
Let
on
them send the
Iran,
tanks,
for
let
their
them send the troops.
portion of it,
They'd just be massacred in the
the Iranian
convoy.
military
Plain and simple. They
is
have no
trying
way
to
to protect it.
retaliate by targeting
And they have
regional
no way
economic
other
oil
than
and
the drones
electrical
and shoot a
infrastructure.
ballistic missile to
And we already know that they've attacked countries that have been supportive to the U.S. war effort. Now, he did an exclusive interview with Axios today, the president did, in which he acknowledged that he's considering a massive escalation of the war.
He said he's considering, this is his words, quote, considering a massive attack that would be, quote, bigger than ever before.
And he
said he is, quote, close to making a decision to restart major combat operations. But as of now, based on what's in the public domain, which could change very quickly, of course, there's been no final order given to restart major combat operations. So he indicated in this interview that the potential military operation would eclipse the scale of previous strikes, including those conducted during the Operation Epic Fury. He claimed to the Israeli point of all this that Israel would join the operation, quote, in 2 minutes, close quote, if requested. But then he said the United States, quote, does not need anybody, close quote, to execute the strikes. He was asked to explain his rationale. And he said in this Axios interview that the Iranians, quote, haven't received enough pain yet, close quote, to force them into a diplomatic agreement. Now, as has been discussed on this stage previously, there are those who have opined that the president is miscalculating the Iranian regime, that they cannot be beaten into submission to enter into a diplomatic agreement. And adding Gary's analysis, I think it would be safe to assume that although a diplomatic agreement might end the war, might force the opening by agreement of the Strait of Hormuz, might bring gas prices down sometime before the midterm elections. The one thing that we can all say, even as we may collectively breathe a sigh of relief, and I say collectively because the polling shows that this is an extremely unpopular war, Iran's not going to hold to any agreement. So, I'm not suggesting that one ought not to be reached for the moment. Others might argue that, and they might be correct. But I'm just interjecting that history has shown that Iran cannot be trusted to hold to any agreement. So that interview, by the way, was conducted by Barack Ravid. He's like the go-to reporter. He's been breaking all these stories there in the Middle East. To the Israeli issue once again that I was talking about from my sources in Israel, and I mean it's public knowledge. So when I say my sources, maybe I'm putting too much emphasis on who I'm talking to, but they are my sources and they are in Israel, so it's accurate. But I'm not suggesting that it's exclusive information. Several Israeli cities have opened public bomb shelters in anticipation of a potential Iranian missile response. I mean, I think they've been very fortunate up till now. Excuse me, as you can tell, my voice is giving way a little bit, so that means I expect all of you to talk a lot. They've been fortunate in this latest round of nearly 2 weeks of attacks that the Iranians have not been attacking Israel, but I don't think it's because the Iranians suddenly are having good feelings for the Israelis. It's because they know that there would be a price to pay for that, and for the moment anyway, they are keeping pretty quiet in that direction. I don't think they're too concerned about Bahrain or Oman or any of the other Gulf states that have come under attack. Kuwait suddenly amassing a pan-Arab army and grabbing the Kurds along the way and marching into Iran. But they are concerned about what the Israelis might do, because they know the Israelis have the military might not afraid to use it.
Gary, you know they don't play with the lion's tail. Yeah?
Right. You know, in spite of the fact that anytime Israel moves to defend itself, it's a propaganda loss for the Israelis, which is unfortunate. And the greater unfortunate part about it is that that manifests itself in anti-Semitic attacks increasing against Jews around the world who have absolutely nothing to do with the decisions of the Israeli government. It's just mind-boggling. So with that, I'm going to open it up to you to comment on, it's not a question, it's a fact. Trump threatens to expand the war, oil prices are soaring. I guess the question would be, if there was room to put it up there, what next? What do you think is going to happen next? What would be a good approach by the president? Should he make good on this threat? We know that sometimes he makes these kinds of public pronouncements in the hopes that that will force the enemy to the diplomatic table. But, you know, as we've discussed here, I've used this analogy many times. If you're a police officer and a person has a gun, and you give him a chance to put that gun down, and you say to that guy, put the gun down or I'm going to shoot. If the guy doesn't put the gun down, you better damn well shoot. You know? So, that's basically what the president is saying here. And I'm not anticipating that Iran is going to put the gun down. And so, will he shoot or not? I guess it depends on his mood at the moment, because it seems to